I'm legally insane. And when I'm not busy visiting your mother Friday nights, back at the 7-Eleven right behind the dumpster, everybody knows where to find her. When I'm not doing that, I'm typically playing video games. And so I've come up with a brand new series. This is episode 1 of games that I've recently been playing, new games that I've been playing. And I'm not just talking modern games or new games that I picked up yesterday. I'm talking just whatever game I've been playing. And I came up with the idea because I recently played a game that just about made me blow my balls off. If I hadn't already blown my balls off from a previous game, I would have blown my balls off right then and there because it had a real good ending. And as I sat there, I binge played the game. I'll get into it in a moment. But after I beat the game, I said, I gotta share this with the world. So I came up with this new series where, how about I just start talking about the games that I've been playing? So we're going to start with the month of June because it's now July. What was I playing? Well, let's start with the first one. I recently downloaded a game called Finding Paradise. It's a very niche game. It's not for everyone. But those that it is for, they know that this is a blow your balls off good game. It is the direct sequel to the Moon, which I have mentioned before, and you can get a physical copy on the Nintendo Switch. And it is technically also a sequel to that sequel called A Bird Story, which I have not played yet. Although it is a sequel, you do not need to play any of the previous games. They are all standalone games, but they carry over the same main characters. So the overarching story is that you play as one of 2 scientists. They are a team, and you work for Sigmund Corp. And this company offers dying patients the ability to fulfill their wish, any wish they want, by altering their memories. So this does not do anything other than alter their memories. So if you're dying, you can pay them money and live out any fantasy you ever can think of. You want to be a rock star? Okay, you can have that. You've always wanted a pet tiger? Okay, they can alter your life and they can make it the exact same as your life that you already existed, except now you have a pet tiger and you're going to have all these fake memories as if it was all real. So in this sequel, they are visiting a dying patient named Colin, and he has a wish. So in this particular case, you're visiting a dying patient named Colin, and you are to alter his memories. There's a little bit of a mystery going on here because Colin didn't really mention what exactly he wants to be altered. So in To the Moon, they tell you what the patient wants right away. The patient wants to go to the moon. That's his big wish. Change my memory so that I go to the moon. So you know what your end goal is right from the very beginning. In this game, you don't. There's something strange going on. What the hell's going on here, Colin? You're telling us that you want something altered and that you're just missing something. You want to be happy. I want to be happy. And I'm not giving away any spoilers. Colin says I want to be happy. Well, not any major spoilers at least. Well, he didn't really go beyond that because, well, Colin seems pretty happy. He's got a great life. So what is going on here? You seem to have lived a very fulfilling life here, Colin. And that's where you come in. You got to figure that out. Now, it's a very niche game because, guys, it's all about the story. I should have mentioned this earlier. You don't actually do any combat. You just observe the story. You walk around, you interact with objects. It's all about the story, and that's why it's not for everyone. But I like a good story. I play RPGs mostly for the story. I love the combat and the tactical analysis and the strategy involved as well. But if it didn't have that story, I wouldn't be playing RPGs. I've always had to go to RPGs to get my story fix in the past. Well, nowadays they make these new games where they skip the friggin' gameplay and they go right to the friggin' story. And so that appeals to people like me, especially when I don't have as much time as I used to have to commit to playing these games. So, yeah, I played this game, I beat it in 2 days. Just 2 days. I couldn't put the dang thing down, and guess what? I played it on PC. I don't normally play on PC, but I used this 8-bit Super Nintendo style controller right here to do it. Made me feel like I'm playing a Super Nintendo game because guess what? This game has Super Nintendo graphics. 16-bit style. 16-bit graphics. Blow your balls off. Visual appearance. Okay, 16-bit. It doesn't get better. Graphically, we hit like 16-bit generation was peak graphics. They've never made anything more visually appealing ever since. I don't know what it is about that pixelated graphics. The colors, I think it's partly the colors. It just looks perfect. Absolutely amazing. And they got good music in this game. So, although I can't actually reveal it, I'm just going to tell you, if you played To the Moon or if you've always wanted to play To the Moon, this might be a good starting location because the puzzles are easy. In To the Moon, they made the puzzles impossible, and I had to use YouTube guide to cheat through on every single one of them. This game, they finally made the puzzles short and simple. The puzzles are only there to break up the gameplay and artificially extend the friggin' story, to be honest with you. And they didn't bother with that impossible puzzle crap this time around, thank goodness. So, yeah, I mean, I really liked the story. I really enjoyed it. It's meant to tug at your heartstrings. It's meant to make you laugh. It's hilarious. They break up the serious scenes with funny scenes. It's just an overall good time. You'll complete the whole game in about 5 or 6 hours. That was first game that I wanted to mention. Next game up, I also played and beat for the very first time in my entire life. Not the first time I played it, but it is the first time I beat it. Contra 3 The Alien Wars for the Super Nintendo. 16-bit style. This is my OG copy. I've had this since the 90s, and it still works. Nintendo built these cartridges till they could last through a nuclear frickin' war. You can dunk this in the bottom of the ocean, pick it up again, and it'll still work. You can leave this out in a snowstorm for 6 years, and it will still work. But I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, you didn't beat that game. You suck at video games. There ain't no way you beat that game. Contra? Okay, I could believe that you beat Contra. Contra, Super C? Well, yeah, maybe. With practice, even you could beat it. But ain't no way you beat this game, buddy. Ain't no way. You are a liar. And you belong in prison. Again, for the second time. I already went to prison 6 years, buddy. I ain't going back. Ain't no way I'm going back. Once you get out of prison, you don't go back to prison. That's a story for another day. So, in a way, you're right. I didn't beat the game without cheating, that is, because I cheated the hell out of this game. I bought this Game Genie a while ago. I didn't have this growing up. I wish I had this growing up. I really, really wish I had it. I never owned it, and I didn't have any friends that owned it either. Game Genie Super Nintendo. This is how you beat games. And I have no problem using a Game Genie. In fact, when people ask me in the future, hey, what games have you beat? Hey, did you ever beat Contra 3 The Alien Wars? That was a great game. I beat that game. That's what they're saying. Did you ever beat that? Legally Insane Gamer, did you beat that game? You play a lot of games. And I'll just tell them straight up, yeah, I beat that game. I beat the hell out of that game. I didn't even lose a life playing that game. I didn't lose a single life. And I just don't tell them that I used the Game Genie. They'll think, holy hell, man, you beat that game without losing a single life? I didn't say I didn't die. I just said I didn't lose a life because I have unlimited lives, bitch. Put the unlimited lives code in, it doesn't even subtract the lives. It literally doesn't take lives away. You only gain lives, actually, because the more points you get at certain point thresholds, you get more lives. So your lives only go up. I didn't lose a single life. I beat the hell out of this game. I'm the freaking Contra 3 Alien Wars god. And holy hell, that game is so hard. Unless you're using a Game Genie. And I played the hell out of this when I was younger, and I could not get past stage 3 or 4, I think it was. I don't remember which one. I don't remember which stage is which number. But yeah, there was definitely a stage that I could not beat. I think it was... I probably got as far as the second last level, maybe, I think, without the Game Genie when I was younger. I believe that is as far as I got. And I was able to beat the game with the Game Genie. Had a great time doing it. Played on 2-player co-op as well. I recommend doing the same. I will tell you, this is the hardest Contra game I've ever played. I think that the Super Nintendo Contra is more difficult than the Sega Genesis Contra. And also, it is the worst of the Contra games from the NES 8-bit, 16-bit era. So I would prefer, after having finally beat this game, really giving it a dive, I definitely have Super C as my number 1. Probably either Contra or Contra Hard Corps as my number 2. And I don't know which one is which. So right now it's a tie. Super C is definitely number 1, though. I will throw in a caveat as well. I did play a little bit of NHL 98, and I realized from playing that I think when it comes to these old NHL games, everyone says NHL 94 is the best. And maybe they're right. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it with NHL 98. Maybe I need to go back to 95, 96. My jam was always 95, 96. So, I don't know. Either the magic is gone or I'm just not into hockey the way I used to be. But I'm going to go back and play 94, 95, and 96, and we'll see if I can get the magic back. Maybe it was the players weren't the same, the teams weren't quite the same. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. And also, I sucked. I only got 1 goal the whole game. Anyways, guys, that's what I've been playing recently. I'm going to try to make this a regular series. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. I am trying to collect over 9,000 retro video games, and I'm probably pretty close. I mean, I've got thousands of them. I'm going to count them up one of these days.